Hello my dear friends. So good morning and welcome to this new class. And you remember that we are studying the topic industries. And we saw in the previous class the divisions that can be created under different bases. Under the basis of ownership, under the basis of the raw materials that are used, under the basis of the size, and under all these bases we can divide industry into different categories. And today we shall study about the location of industries. How the industry will be located, in which place industry will be established, what are the criteria that will be considered, what are the factors that are required for the starting of an industry. That is what we are going to see today. And you can see in your textbook a number of factors are mentioned here. The factors that are required. So you can see in your textbook page number 52. A lot of factors are required. In that chart itself you will be able to identify. First one is the raw material, availability of raw material. Second one we can say the labor should be available. People should be available nearby to do the work. Then capital should be available. If without any money in the hand we cannot go and start. So money should be available. At least the means of money. Maybe there is a bank, means we can borrow from the bank, or some rich people are there, means we can borrow from them, and so on. Then market should be there. So after producing these things, we cannot go and carry it such a long distance for selling it. Then it will be a waste of money. Transportation charge will be there. So market should be nearby for selling it. Then water should be available. For the factory it needs a lot of water, and the people who are staying, the employees, they all may require water facility. So water should be available. Then there should be power supply. All the machines will be running with electricity. So power supply should be regular. Then most of all, the land should be there to build up the factory and so on. Land should be there. It should have enough land. Then transport facility should be there. The workers may have to come and go sometimes. They may be traveling from their house. If there is no transport facility, then for them walking and coming is difficult. Then after finishing the production also they need to carry it to the market, and for that also transportation facility should be available. That means road should be good. If the road is not good, then it becomes very difficult for transportation. Then communication also is important. There should be communication facility, phone facility, internet facility, all these things should be there, because a lot of computers will be working, mobile will be working, and they need to contact the customers in different places, or suppliers of raw material they need to contact. So they cannot go and meet the people every time. So they may be communicating through phone, email, and so on. So this facility should be there. So a place that is selected for establishing the industry should have all these facilities. Then only we can start. If some of the facilities are there, some are not there, then it will be difficult. So the most suitable place will be the place which has got the maximum number of facilities. So everyone wants to start the industry in a place where a lot of facilities are there. Nobody likes to go and start industry in the desert region. There is no water, no communication, no road. Or also in the slushy places where always flood is taking place. Such kind of places are not good. So let us see in detail the factors that are affecting the location of industry. What are the factors that are influencing while choosing the location of an industry? So the factors affecting the location of industries are availability of raw material. We already said what type of product are they going to make. Industry depends on what kind of raw material are they getting. If it is an agro-based industry, they will be using the raw material coming from the agricultural field. If it is a mineral-based industry, then they will be using the minerals that are mined out from under the earth. So what are the industries that they are going to set up? Then accordingly they will demand the raw materials as well. Then as I said, land should be there, available, water should be available, labor should be available, power should be available, capital should be available, transport should be available, and when all the productions are over, for them to sell the thing, market also should be available. So if all these things are not there, then it becomes very difficult. If all these things are there, means the place is very suitable for starting an industry there. Surely the company will be able to make a lot of profit. If the market is very far, if the water is very far, or the labors are very far, then they need to bring all these things with the transportation and they have to pay extra money. That way their profit will be less. But if all these things are nearby there, then they don't need to spend any extra money and they will be able to get the benefit, get the more profit. Then sometimes the government provides incentives like subsidized power, lower transport costs and other infrastructure so that industries may be located in backward areas. So where these industries are set up, we know that area will develop because people who are living in the nearby, they will get job opportunity, they will get salary. So also a lot of shops will come up, hotels will come up, lodges will come up and so on. So government is encouraging the people to go and start industry in the backward region where development has not come up. But these people who are aiming at maximum profit, they are not going and starting industry in the rural area or in the backward area, not going to bring lot of profits. So they are not willing. So for that, government will try to attract them, saying if you come and start industry in the backward region, we will give you subsidy. For example, we will give you electricity for less price, or we will give you free transportation and so on. So government will give some incentives, some offer, some attraction in order to make these people to go and start their industry in the rural area, so that development will take place in the rural area as well. Otherwise, everyone wants to start industry in the town area, at least in the urban area where all the facilities are available. So government tries to attract these people, the industrial people, to go and start industry in the backward areas. Then industrialization often leads to development. Industrialization leads to development and growth of towns and cities. That is why government wants them to go to the backward area, because once industry starts, industrialization means the starting of the industry. Industrialization starts and leads to development. So if an industry is starting in a backward area, at present there may be only farmers, poor people are living. But if an industry is set up there, factory is set up there, then all those people in the village, they can get job there. Then slowly their income will increase, and town, it will become a town. More and more people will come and settle there nearby because they can get job in that factory. So industrialization brings development, and slowly it will create more and more urban cities and so on. So rural city will change into urban city if an industrial factory starts there. That's why the government is trying to attract the people, attract the industrialists in order to come and start industry in the rural area. And government is willing to help them, will give them power for a less price, electricity charge will be less, or they may be given a transportation charge free of cost and so on. Or even government will say we will help you to make buildings and so on. Government will give so much offer so that these people will be attracted to come and start their industry in the rural area. So that is about the choosing of the place of industrial location. So there are so many factors are there, and which place has got more facilities, they prefer to start there. but it is a interest of the government to go and start industry in the backward areas, so that development will come in the backward area as well. Now let us study about industrial system. So what is this industrial system? That is what we shall see now. So an industrial system consists of inputs, processes and outputs. So three things are included in the industrial system. You can underline in your book. What are they? Inputs, the process and outputs. So these are the three things that are included in this industrial system. So these three things are not there. These three things are not there, then an industry cannot take place. First of all, it needs inputs. I am sure you all know what is input. The things that we put inside, that is called input. For example, in a manufacturing industry, the raw materials that we use, that is called input. We need to use lot of things as a raw material, that is called input. Then using that input, they do certain processing and then output comes out. What comes out is output. For example, in the last class we studied about paper manufacturing. So for paper manufacturing, the inputs are the trees. The trees are cut and brought. Then process starts. It is crushed and made into pulp. That is the processing. Then it is crushed into pulp and then it is pressed in the machine and then output comes out. Paper is the output. So these are the process of a industrial system. The inputs are raw materials, labor, cost of land, transport, power and other infrastructure. So when we say input, not only the raw materials are included, all that we do, all the work that we do. For example, the power that we use, electricity that we use, or the people who are working, the labor, because the tree that is in the forest will not come by itself to the mill, isn't it? We need to go and cut and bring by transportation. So all that is input. All the work that we do before the process starts, before the manufacturing starts, that is called input. And the transport, the power, the infrastructure. Infrastructure means the buildings, all that we created, that is called infrastructure. So the process includes a wide range of activities that convert the raw material into finished products. So once all these raw materials or all these inputs are done, the second phase begins, that is the processing. For example, in the case of making paper, we cut the tree, carry it, transport it to the mill, then crush it and put into pieces and put into process. So electricity is needed, building is needed, machine is needed, all that is input. And once that input, everything is done, the second phase starts. The second phase, that is processing. So the machine will start crushing the tree and making it liquid like pulp. Then till the paper comes out, till the finished goods comes out, it will be the process. Then the outputs are the end product and the income earned from it. So here output means the paper that comes out from the process and also the money that we get by selling the paper. So the income that we get, that also is part of this output. So once again, let us say input is the raw material that we use, then all the work that we put in, the labor, the transport, the power, the infrastructure, all these things are included as input. Because all these things are not there, the process cannot start. We cannot say the tree is there in the forest, we start processing paper, we start making paper. How will it possible? No. So we have to do lot of work, that is called input. All the work that is done before the process starts, that is input. Then once all the input, everything is done, we begin this processing. We start crushing the tree and making the pulp and making the paper. And once that process is complete, we have the output, that is the paper, and by selling that paper we get money. That money is also output. So input, process and output, that is the three process in this industrial system. Then in case of the textile industry, let's say an example. In the case of a textile industry, the inputs may be cotton, human labor, factory and transport. So we are taking an example. Before we are talking about example of paper industry. Now let us change into a cotton textile industry. So if you want cotton, then we need the raw material, that is we have to cultivate cotton in the field and get that cotton. Then for that we need a lot of labors. We have to dig the field, we have to plant the cotton, we have to take care of it, then we have to harvest it, then we have to bring it to the factory. There's a lot of things there. So human labor, transport, everything is there. Then after bringing to the factory, then the process starts. We start to work with the raw material. What are the process? Ginning, spinning, weaving, dyeing and printing. So these are the things that are included in the process. First of all, ginning. Ginning means the cotton, there will be a lot of seeds inside. So we have to remove the seeds and take out only the cotton. So removing that seed, that process is called ginning. Then spinning. Once the seed is removed, we have to spin them into thread. Cotton has to be changed into thread. Then after making thread, we start weaving the cloth. Then after weaving is over, we start dyeing. Dyeing means coloring. We see a lot of beautiful clothes with the different attractive colors, and so they are giving the color. After finish weaving, they apply the color, they give the design. So that is the process. Then the output is the shirt that you wear. So what is the output? The shirt that you are wearing. If you are wearing a cotton shirt, then that is the output. So the people who made, the factory people or the industry owner, they got money by selling the cloth to you. So you got the cloth and you gave the money. So they are getting the output. So the shirt or the cloth is the output. So I hope you understood the three processes that are included in any industry. So different industry will have different raw materials. Some industry will have a lot of raw materials, a lot of hard work, a lot of labor will require, a lot of power will require, and the output also will be very heavy. For example, if the factory is making iron and steel, then it will need a lot of raw materials, and the output also will be very huge. So it depends on what type of industry we are having. Now we know industrial regions. We said about the government trying to attract the business people or industrial people, come and start industry in the rural region, and they are giving a lot of offer as well. So why this offer is given to them? Because the government wants to develop that region as well. So everywhere people cannot start industry. As we said, the main purpose of anyone starting the industry is not for doing service. They want to make maximum profit. They want to become rich. That is their main concern. So if they find a place that is not very suitable, if they find there is not much water available, no labor is available, or if the labor is very costly there, people are not willing to work for cheaper rate, then the industrial people may not start there, because they have to pay very high labor charge. Then the profit will be very less, so they will not be interested. So every industrialist, they will try to begin this industry in a most favorable place where lot of facilities are available, where they receive lot of cooperation from the local people, from the government and so on. So as soon as the company starts, people start strike there. They will be sitting down in front, not allowing to work, carrying, shouting a lot of slogans and obstructing the work. Then they will close the factory and go away and start somewhere else. So that kind of problems are there. So we shall see in the next class what is the meaning of industrial region, or where is the place more suitable for the starting of the industry and so on. So thank you for listening. Have a nice day.